Alright, me mucker, this is Avengers 327, the second issue in Barry Hamner's run. I'm not afraid of giving anything away. They have clearly depicted Rage fighting alongside the team on the cover. The plotting for this issue is a bit of an odd duck. The first half, it is resolving the story from the previous issue. And then it just starts on the second story, which you're seeing on the cover here. The Avengers, they end up in a weird monster dimension. That is a fun and simple enough idea, but we have unfortunately got a lot of needless and overwritten mythology and nonsense about these monsters, which really is the worst thing about the whole run. But we have still got to deal with Lieutenant Surge. He is getting atomic. The caption boxes here, they actually do a fantastic job of explaining the story to you if you missed part 1 or you have selective amnesia when it comes to comics. Lieutenant Surge, Soviet hero of Chernobyl, was about to undergo treatment at a New York Land hospital when he awoke from a drug-induced stupor as a berserk, super-powered being. And now the Avengers, they are fighting them in the sewers, and Lieutenant Surge, he takes off his containment suit and he's doing a big nuclear explosion, and he thinks that he is still in Chernobyl. And here we have got that nod to Simon Watterson's Fantastic Force run. We see Mr. Fantasticals and the Invisible Wife, and they see the action going on down the street, and she goes, "That looks like a high-intensity energy beam near Metropolis Hospital." And then Mr. Fantasticals, he isn't bothered, he's just reading the paper. And he goes, "That is the Avengers. They have got it under control." We also have Rage down here, who goes to investigate the explosions. Then we have got LD50, who is meant to be like Rage's nemesis. He is a drug dealer and he is really annoying. He's like a well-spoken, loquacious weirdo, and it just reads awfully. So now we get to see Thor and She-Hulks. They're fighting Lieutenant Surge. We have also got international intrigue with the Russian government not being forthcoming with important details about Lieutenant Surge and the nature of his affliction and his armoured suit. Finally, we get back to Captain America and Big Barda, who were just left behind at the hospital when the others went into the sewers. There's still no mention of where the Vision or Kaiser are meant to be. The United Nations, they're being little pricks to the Avengers about not wanting them to get involved in a crisis. And honestly, this whole storyline with Lieutenant Surge, it's really good. It is fun. And here we have got some more of the team fighting against them. Thor and She-Hulks and Iron Man. And meanwhile, we have got Rage. He's very slowly making his way to the centre of the action. So Captain America and Big Barda, they show up just as Thor is using his magic hammer to transport themselves and Lieutenant Surge to another dimension where they can fight against them without risk of arming bystanders. And then Rage, he shows up just in time to get in with it. And now we are on to the next part of the story, or the next story completely, which is the Avengers in this other dimension that is full of monsters. At this point, Lieutenant Surge, he becomes a bit irrelevant, and I would have preferred if they had split these two stories up into two definitively separate stories, rather than have them so heavily part of each other. Because, as I said, I would say that the Lieutenant Surge story was quite brilliant, but this stuff with the monsters, it's a step down. I mean, there's definitely potential here, and it could be another fun story, having the Avengers fight a bunch of monsters, but I really didn't like how much time Barry Hamner spends writing up the monsters and giving them unpronounceable names like Ng and Z, and showing their relationships with each other and stuff like that. This is Avengers. It's not the new Monster Society of Dimension D. Just have the Avengers fight a bunch of monsters and didn't waste time establishing who all these monsters are and what their stupid names are. I mean, the bits where the Avengers are just fighting them and we're getting to see Rage work with the team, that stuff is good. And the Avengers, they're able to chase the monsters off, or maybe they just leave to go and bore someone else with all their exposition-filled dialogue. We have got some more stuff with Rage and his relationship with the team and Captain America. I suppose it is commendable how much Barry Hamner is packing into these comics. We have had 3 very distinct plot lines, 4 if you count the stuff with LD50, going on in 2 issues. And speak of the devil, here is LD50. I hate this character. He would be fine with different dialogue and a different name, but the way he is written is just great. And here he is getting a rocket launcher to use against Rage next time they meet. And then Big Barda, she quickly resolves the leftovers from the Lieutenant Surge plot with her ridiculous powers. And we also resolve the Russian government angle, but then we waste some more time on these stupid monsters and their boring mythology and their impossible to say names. And this one, the pink one, he is the king of the monsters, and the monsters, they're planning to escape from this dimension when the Avengers leave. It's to be continued, and this is a bad time to end the issue, because this monster shit is not going to bring anyone back for the next issue. Despite all my criticism and dislike of the monsters, or rather the direction and execution of the monster dimension, I still enjoy the comic. I think we have got a great team of Avengers, even though they're still not all together. And we have got a bunch of very different storylines all going on at once. While one of these plots doesn't excite me, the others, they're able to keep me engaged in the comic. I rate this 7 thumbs up.